Have you ever wondered how ancient civilizations, without modern science or technology, understood so much about the human mind, suffering, and purpose? Long before psychology, neuroscience, or artificial intelligence existed, ancient cultures were observing life closely, watching patterns in nature, behavior, and consciousness itself. What they discovered wasn't superstition or fantasy, it was insight earned through deep reflection and lived experience. In this countdown, we're exploring 10 spiritual truths that ancient civilizations knew thousands of years ago, truths that continue to shape human understanding today. These ideas survived empires, wars, and centuries because they're rooted in how humans actually think, feel, and grow. As we move closer to number 1, the truths become deeper and more confronting. Many of them still challenge how we live today. Number 10, everything is connected. Ancient civilizations consistently understood life as an interconnected system. In cultures like ancient Egypt, harmony between humans, nature, and the cosmos was considered essential for order. Nothing existed in isolation. Actions affected communities, nature responded to imbalance, and inner disorder reflected outward chaos. This wasn't symbolic thinking, it was observation. Ancient people watched how emotions affected health, how conflict destabilized societies, and how nature responded to misuse. Seeing life as interconnected encouraged responsibility. You weren't just living for yourself, you were part of a larger whole. This belief shaped ethics, rituals, and daily behavior. When balance was broken, consequences followed. Today, this truth still applies. Whether in ecosystems, relationships, or mental health, separation is often an illusion created by perspective, not reality. Number 9. The self is more than the body. Many ancient civilizations believed human identity extended beyond the physical form. Egyptians spoke of multiple aspects of the self, while teachings from ancient India described an inner essence untouched by age or death. These ideas weren't abstract beliefs. They came from reflection on consciousness, memory, and moral awareness. People noticed that thoughts, values, and awareness didn't feel limited to the body alone. This perspective changed how life was lived. Character mattered more than appearance. Long-term consequences mattered more than short-term pleasure. Life wasn't reduced to survival. It became a journey of inner development. Seeing the self as more than the body encouraged responsibility, meaning, and continuity beyond one lifetime. Even today, this truth challenges purely material views of identity. Number 8. Inner balance creates outer harmony. Ancient civilizations believed chaos in the world often began with imbalance within individuals. In ancient Greece, balance and moderation were central to philosophy and ethics. Emotional extremes were seen as dangerous, not just personally, but socially. Ancient thinkers observed that inner instability led to poor judgment, conflict, and suffering. When thoughts, emotions, and actions aligned, life stabilized naturally. This idea encouraged self-discipline and reflection instead of blame. You didn't fix the world first, you stabilized yourself. That principle shaped education, leadership, and spiritual practice. Even today, we see the same pattern. When people are internally regulated, relationships improve, and decisions become clearer. Inner balance isn't passive, it actively shapes the quality of life around you. Number 7. Desire is the root of human suffering. Ancient teachings repeatedly warned that uncontrolled desire leads to dissatisfaction. In early Buddhist philosophy from ancient India, attachment was identified as a major source of suffering. This wasn't anti-pleasure, it was anti-dependence. Ancient observers noticed that the more people chased fulfillment externally, the more restless they became. Achieving one desire only created the next. This cycle produced anxiety, comparison, and frustration. The solution wasn't suppression, but awareness and restraint. By reducing attachment, people experienced clarity and peace. Modern psychology now recognizes this pattern through hedonic adaptation. Ancient civilizations understood it intuitively. Desire promised happiness but often delivered craving. Learning to manage it was seen as wisdom, not sacrifice. Number 6. Silence reveals truth. Ancient spiritual traditions valued silence as a gateway to understanding. In meditation practices across Asia and mystery schools in Egypt, silence wasn't emptiness, it was a tool. They observed that constant noise distracted the mind and distorted perception. When the mind became still, insight emerged naturally. This wasn't mystical, it was experiential. People noticed better judgment, emotional regulation, and clarity after periods of quiet reflection. Silence allowed individuals to observe thoughts instead of being controlled by them. Ancient teachers didn't rush wisdom, they waited for it. Even today, silence remains uncomfortable for many because it removes distraction. But ancient civilizations understood that truth doesn't shout. It appears when the noise settles. Number 5. Death is a transition, not an end. Ancient civilizations rarely viewed death as final. Egyptians prepared extensively for the afterlife, and Greek philosophers described the soul as something that moves beyond physical existence. This belief shaped how people lived. If life continued in another form, actions carried lasting significance. Fear of death decreased, while responsibility increased. Material obsession weakened because permanence was placed elsewhere. This perspective wasn't based on denial. It mirrored natural cycles observed everywhere: seasons, birth and decay, sleep and waking. Death followed the same pattern. Seeing death as transition rather than annihilation reduced panic and gave life deeper meaning. Even today, this truth challenges fear-based views of existence and encourages purpose beyond survival. Number 4. Moral law governs reality. Ancient civilizations believed the universe followed moral order, not randomness. In Egypt, Mayart represented truth and justice. In India, karma expressed cause and effect across time. These ideas weren't about punishment, they were about consequence. People observed that harmful actions destabilized individuals and societies, while ethical behavior created trust and continuity. Moral law wasn't enforced only by authority, it was embedded in reality itself. This belief encouraged accountability even when no one was watching. Shortcuts and exploitation eventually collapsed. Ancient wisdom understood that actions echo beyond the moment. Today, we still see this truth play out socially, psychologically, and culturally. Number 3. Knowledge without wisdom is dangerous. Ancient civilizations respected knowledge but feared it without ethical grounding. Greek philosophers warned that intelligence without self-awareness leads to destruction. Eastern traditions ranked wisdom above information. This distinction mattered. Knowledge could build tools or weapons. Wisdom decided how they were used. Ancient education focused on character alongside learning. Self-restraint and humility were safeguards against misuse of power. This insight feels especially relevant today, as technological ability grows faster than ethical maturity. Ancient civilizations understood that progress without wisdom destabilizes societies. True advancement required responsibility. Knowledge expanded capability, but wisdom determined direction. Number 2. The present moment is sacred. Ancient teachings emphasized the present moment as the only place life truly happens. The past was memory. The future was uncertainty. Awareness belonged to now. This wasn't philosophical poetry. It was psychological insight. Ancient observers noticed anxiety lived in imagined futures and regret lived in remembered pasts. Presence restored balance. Practices focusing attention on the present sharpened perception and reduced suffering. Even today, modern psychology confirms this through mindfulness research. Ancient civilizations understood that attention shapes experience. When awareness stayed present, clarity increased. The present moment wasn't ordinary, it was sacred because it was the point where choice, action, and consciousness met. Number 1. The greatest journey is inward. The most important truth ancient civilizations agreed on was this: self-mastery matters more than external conquest. From Greek philosophy to Eastern mysticism, knowing yourself was considered the highest achievement. Wealth, power, and status meant little without inner clarity. Ancient teachers emphasized discipline, self-observation, and inner growth. They understood that unresolved fear, ego, and ignorance distort everything else. The inward journey required honesty and courage, but it shaped how life was experienced. Mastering the inner world meant greater peace, wisdom, and purpose. This truth remains timeless. You can shape the world, but only after understanding yourself. Ancient civilizations didn't leave behind superstition, they left insight. These spiritual truths survived thousands of years because human nature hasn't changed. connection, balance, awareness, responsibility, and self-mastery are still the foundations of meaningful life. If one of these truths resonated with you, reflect on why. Share your thoughts in the comments, like the video if it added value, and subscribe for more content that bridges ancient wisdom with modern understanding. The past still has a voice, if we're willing to listen.